Okay, colleagues, I'm moving on to the theme 13 on the NHS, and it's a great pleasure to welcome Jacky. Jacky Davis. Hi. Jacky Davis, fearless campaigner for our NHS. It's a great pleasure. Radiologist. Okay, fearless campaigner, running some fantastic stuff out in the region. We did have a mistake, we classified you as a GP, Jacky, of course you're a consultant radiologist.
Nothing against GPs, some of my best friends are GPs.
Okay, Jacky.
My speaking time's just been drastically cut, so this is going to go quickly. Thanks for the invite to address the People's Assembly. It's a great honour to ask you to help us in our fight for our NHS. You know, we started Keep Our NHS Public 8 years ago, and as I saw on a placard at a demo recently, I can't believe we're still having to protest about this shit. But it's just getting worse and worse. We know that Labour put a lot of money into the NHS, which was great, but they loosened its roots in the public sector, and the Tories now sent their tanks across the lawn, and they're tearing it out by those roots. Everything is going to have to be tendered out. The contracts are being won by large companies. We're looking at hospital cuts and closures driven by PFI debts and based on back-of-the-envelope cuts, which have just been invented by these people in order to drive the service into the ground. So don't let's be in any doubt about what's happening. They are starving the services of funds. They are reorganising it to death. They are criticising the staff and the institutions, and then they claim it's failing, and they hand it to the private sector. And the private sector will cherry-pick the profitable bits and leave the rest to rot, and that includes the patients. And we cannot allow this to happen. So I'll dedicate the second half of my time to a couple of messages. The first message is to the Tories. We know, you know, that this is a massive screw-up. We know, you know, this is a huge vote loser, and that you want to drive it down to the agenda. You don't want anyone to talk about the NHS. So our job, all of us here today, is to keep the NHS at the top of the agenda and to lose the next election on that basis. The message to Labour is, Tony Benn said, the most popular thing the Labour Party ever did was to start the NHS. Now, the question to the leaders today is, why have you forgotten that? You know, why have we got all this lily-livered language and weasel words about, oh, there's no political appetite for ending, but, you know, come on, guys, listen to Bevan's speeches. Get up there and do it again. You will have millions of people coming back to the Labour Party if you start talking about the NHS like that. I mean it. And finally, to the people here today at the People's Assembly, I would say, you know, support the motions, help us bring the politicians to account. People in this country really care about the NHS. Bring these people to account. You know, there's loads of things you can do. This is a commercial break now. This is a book we wrote last year, NHS SOS, how they betrayed the NHS and how to save it. The last chapter in this book is absolutely about what you can do, full of stuff. Don't sit at home and get pissed off. Organise, because we have to go out and fight this. And I'm going to end with two quotes. One was Blackadder, who said, there's nothing the matter with this idea, except it's complete bollocks. What's happening? To the NHS is complete bollocks. They didn't say they were going to do it, we didn't vote for it, and we don't want it. The other quote is from Gandhi, well, kind of, you know, up the ante a bit, and Gandhi said, that when the government turns against the people, rebellion is a responsibility. Now the government have turned against the people. Their vicious response to the campaign in Lewisham tells you everything about how much patient voice counts in all of this. And we've really got to get that rebellion going. So my final message to you today is that this fight back is long overdue, that the NHS is in ITU, but it's really important to understand it is not on its deathbed. It is not too late to go out and fight for the NHS. So please, all of you today, get informed, get organised, support us in what we're doing. And I thank a colleague of mine, Shirley, on the front row here, who's a fantastic campaigner, for reminding me that we can win all the fights that you've heard about today, that if we don't get on with it, because there's a real timeline about this, we will lose the NHS and we will never get it back again. Thank you.
Fantastic, Jacky. Thanks very much. And dead on 3 minutes as well, surprisingly enough. That was excellent contribution. Now, I want to thank others that had identified speaker supplements to this debate for standing down, given the time constraints on that. And just to leave it to Jacky to move that and the second motion, 13.3, keep NHS public. So without any extras, I'm going to ask for formal seconders to both of those. So the first one first, I'll take that, okay. And anyone want to speak against? At your peril? Speak up. Okay, no one speaking against. I'm going to take motion 13.2 first then, please. All those in favour, please show. Thanks very much, colleagues. Any against? And any abstentions? Sarah NHS? No abstentions. That's unanimous. Thanks very much. And 13.3, again, can I take a seconder for that, please? Yeah, take it. All those in, anyone want to speak against? No. All those in favour, please show. And any against? No. Any abstentions? That's unanimous. Thanks very much, colleagues. We're moving like a steam train on through the agenda here. Just 2 bits of information. 15